Hello, it's Rob from Van Compass here, and we're going to be showing you some of the details and some of the development of a new rear jounce product we're developing here. Since we came out with our new inverted rally strut, we're really at the point now where we're just chasing perfection and optimizing every single inch of suspension travel that the Sprinter four-wheel drive and all-wheel drive chassis has. And with that now comes a way to optimize all of the rear suspension travel that is available in a bolt-on scenario on this. This is our 2023 all-wheel drive Sprinter. So we'll dive underneath here and take a little closer look at what I'm talking about. So right now we have this van has our OptiRate spring pack disassembled, and it has our standard 3041, 3042 adjustable Falcon shocks installed. And here on the driver's side, this is a factory upper bump stop, factory lower bump stop spacer, factory lower shock mounting point configuration. So we're going to go up with it. Having the OptiRate pack disassembled allows us to actually be able to cycle the suspension properly and go all the way up with it. And you'll notice the OEM bump stop is a rubber, it's a solid rubber bump stop, and it has this relief in it. We do a little smiley face just to show what's going on, but this is where once it hits here, so that now we're hitting the bump stop. Now look how much travel we still have upon hitting the bump stop. So we have 3.5 inches of wheel travel once we hit the bump stop. As we go up with it, watch what happens to the factory bump stop. Now it's still it's getting harder to compress, but not too crazy yet. And once that goes away, that relief, that hole, we almost hit a hard stop. It gets drastically more difficult. And now we're at the point where we're starting to lift the van off of the vehicle hoist. Yeah, see, this is kind of all she's got, right? Now we know when we put this configuration in our 20-ton press, we can get this to bottom with a maximum force of it down to a little over an inch and a half of height. But the problem is it's so stiff. So now we're putting a lot of strain and potential damage on the bump stop mounting point. And we know that it's doubled up in this area. You can see the little spot welds. So it's really strong right here. Now where the weakness comes in is back here and rear of the chassis. So now that we're all the way up, we're at 2 3/4 inches of travel still remaining on the shock. But this is pretty much your hard stop. You feel this is like back braking in the van once you hit this point. Now I'm gonna lower it down a little bit. Okay, and I'm gonna go back to where it just touches. I'm gonna go a little lower actually. Okay, so here's our new setup. Now this is similar to our Falcon bump buddies, our new jounces we've come up with. This is a very progressive ramp up, this bump stop. It's not this hard stop like the rubber factory bump is. So right now we have a new lower bump pad, this really trick billet, no drill, super simple adapter that allows you to adapt the rear bump stop mounting to be able to run our jounce. So notice the stock side we haven't touched yet, but on our side we just now kissed it. Now this thing's soft at first, so right when we kissed it, 3 3/4 inches of travel, a little less. Now we can start to go up. Now this is a very soft, progressive ramp up. I'm only going to be able to go so high because the factory side is going to limit me. So we can pull that out in a little bit and show you. This isn't just that hard stop that we see in the OEM configuration. This is a really nice ramp up. And this gets harder and harder to compress once you get past that 50% compression range. So right now, about as high as I can get this to go because of the OEM limitation over on this side. So we're gonna lower it down a little bit. I'll pop this out and then we'll go see how much more we can get out of our setup. Good. So here we go, we're way past what we were able to really achieve with the stock setup already. You gotta be careful because I can only go so high on the rack because eventually this does ramp up. Like I said, it's a progressive bump stop, so it ramps significantly. Yeah, so we're off the rack again. But we know by putting this configuration in our press that this height will go basically from the face of this mounting from this billet block down to our bump pad. It'll go all the way down to 5/8 of an inch, which means look how much more we have to go and how much more shock travel we're going to get to use. You know, we're at under 2 inches showing now, and I still have, and we're at 1.5 inches showing here. So we're going to get right in that sweet spot of about 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch of shaft showing, which is nice to have a little bit of a safety buffer. Additionally, you can't see it from that angle, but the sway bar is only going to let us get so much because now it is rotated down and it's going to crash into the diff. Now Mercedes has set all this up for worst case scenario, so we're well within that range. But the key thing to take away from this is quality travel the entire range that is possible. So we're not limiting ourselves in a matter that, you know, we're only getting a few inches of good, nice suspension travel. We're getting every inch of travel that this van can get is optimized for performance. So that's what we're all about. We're all about showing you what's possible and showing you why we're doing things that we're doing, and also really being mindful of checking all these tight clearances and making sure we're still well within the limits of what the chassis is capable of doing. So thanks for joining us. Check out the website. These will be available very, very soon.